views and the opinions of the guests and the hosts you hear on Mix Station Radio Live are not necessarily those of the staff and the management of Mix Station Radio Live, its sponsors, or advertisers.
Good morning, and welcome to Diary of a Preacher's Kid. We are so happy to be here today. It is me, Renee Newman, also known as Spiritual Life Coach Renee Newman.
And I'm Octavia Somerville.
And joining us today is my bestie since we were 5 years old. Please introduce yourself, bestie.
And I am Kim Jones, a.k.a. Kimmy.
Yes. Everybody knows Kimmy.
Yes.
So we are here today, and we are going to continue to talk about positive female relationships. We're talking about true sisterhood, and we are talking about girl code. So you all know about my sisters and I, and you've had the pleasure of meeting Octavia, my co-host. Yeah. And a couple of weeks ago, or last month, you met Veronica and her husband, Michael. Teresa has yet to join us, so you all will meet her. And you're meeting my best friend. And we are going to talk about how our relationship has survived the test of time. So it's one thing to grow up as sisters, but how do you survive a long-standing friendship?
How many years?
Well, then that will put our age out there. We've been friends.
She said 5.
Okay, so look, let's just say we've been friends since the age of 5. So I don't know what Kimmy is going to say, but I'm going to say you do the math if we're 25. If we're 25, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's it. So, Kimmy, let's see. Why have we survived this long?
I would say we've survived this long because we've been able to fight, make up, write notes to make up. But we can also give each other space and then come back like nothing even happened. Mm-hmm. So the friendship can continue without having to have daily conversations, without even having to like get together every week. Those days they're gone. Life, we have too many things to do in our own lives to be able to see each other that often, but I think those kinds of things allow us to keep the friendship going and connect.
Absolutely, when life happens. Kimmy and I have seen each other through all of the stages of life up to the present moment. So outside of my sisters, Kimmy has been my rider. Like, again, we're talking elementary school.
Years.
I'm 6 months older than Kimmy, and I literally remember her first day of school getting on the bus with her teddy bear. Because my stop was before hers.
I don't recall that.
I remember her mom walking her to the bus stop.
No.
Yes, I remember.
What was your teddy bear's name?
She don't even remember
Jordan.
that thing.
I have no idea. I did have one named Jordan.
So that is just like amazing that you go through all your stages. You connect, and we each have had other friends outside of our friendship, but we have held a firm foundation. and we definitely have gone through. We don't want to be friends no more. Like every stage of everything. Like Octavia quite a few years ago, when Octavia, I think you must have been moving.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I found a piece of paper stating that they were no longer friends. They didn't like each other.
Official notice.
Yes.
Yeah.
In their own little writing.
Yes.
I mean, it was kind of some jacked up little writing, but they got the message across. And the paper was all, I mean, I was like, what? And do you want to be friends? Yes or no?
Yeah. So, if you want to know our ages, then we grew up in the do you want to be friends again, circle yes or no era.
That took me.
Yes.
So, exactly. Right. And I will tell you one thing we survived was it will be your freshman year. And you were dating your first little love. And he and I had a class together, and he and I became friends. And he was trying to prove a point to me, because everybody knew, and Kimmy is terrible, everybody knew how close Kimmy and I have always been. And for some reason, he was mad at her and wanted to attack our friendship. So he was like, you think she your friend? She not your friend. Watch. I'm going to get her to talk about you. So he calls. I was like, what? You ain't going to do nothing. So he, be quiet. And that's when three-way was hot, you know.
Yeah, you telling your age again.
Y'all so disrespectful. Just be quiet. Right.
You couldn't even mute.
There was no mute button. You literally, okay, I'm going to go in the back room. And he starts calling her. And I don't know what he said, but the slightest thing that he said, and he was like, oh, really? Well, I got her on the phone. Do you remember that, Kimmy?
I vividly remember that story, yes.
And Kimmy yelled and screamed and fussed and hung up.
And that was the hang up where you took the phone and bang.
Yes! That was the hang up with sound effects. And it's like you get all those stages that you go through. And it's like all roads still lead back to the true bond, you know. And I think that is so important for this generation, because I see that our young ladies, they are not loyal to each other these days.
No.
Yeah, they ain't loyal. They ain't loyal. And that's what I look at. I'm like, some of the things that I encounter in the field that I work in, I'm sitting up here like, wow, I would never do that to my friends. So y'all tell me, as far as what you all see in this current generation versus how we grew up.
Okay. Well, first of all, with me, even from childhood, I was always I never had a lot of girl friends. I had associates, and I later would find out that they really weren't true friends, because associates mean we're just on associating school, work, extracurricular activities. And it's no ties or connection where we do things together personally. Whereas with a friend, to me, when I say you are my friend, I have you in my circle. When I'm down, you're there for me. When you're down, I'm there for you, no matter what. Sunshine, rain, storms, you are the constant. And that's the way I look at that. And that is not the case in this generation with a lot of people. Their values, it's very selfish. And I think among women, the problem is a man.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Man and jealousy.
We got it.
That's
That's
major.
Yeah.
We
That
the
is.
problem. Is that
That's
what
like,
you're saying?
yeah, no,
We the problem.
I just think that the value that people, they diminish their value of friendship for a man. Or you have some women who you thought was a friend, but you find out,
Insert man.
yeah, and then you find out, hey, you slept with them. Some of them have even gotten pregnant, married them. I mean, it's just a lot of deceitfulness that's going on. Or you will have your circle of friends and you find out that your so-called best friend is revealing all your personal secrets
go.
or talking about you, not while you're there. So,
Yeah.
you just gotta watch out. It's a lot of cutthroats and backstabbers. So that's the
Right.
way. You have to be careful who you bring in your circle. Give some time and space for their actions and their words.
Yes.
That will tell it all. Put time on it. Don't allow them to get in that circle right away.
Right. Right.
I think one of the biggest differences that I see with the current generation compared to the generations before them
Yeah.
is that they don't spend enough time with each other.
Yeah.
That's true.
I remember because we grew up in Carroll County, we felt like there was nothing to do in Carroll County. We wanted to go to Baltimore County or Howard County in order to hang out. And so we were excited to get our licenses and be able to drive with each other to different places. Now they have no interest in getting their license to begin with. And then because of the current law, they can't really drive with their friends to start with
Right.
anyway. So I think that kind of hinders their ability. But they just don't get together. They may see each other. So my daughter is a sophomore in college, and she and all her friends were home for the summer. She may have seen them a handful of times, like literally a handful of times. I remember in the summer we would spend like weeks.
Yes. Couldn't wait. Could not wait.
We were planning vacations, and
Yes.
COVID has put a hindrance on
Right,
that.
right.
But even before that, they don't spend time with
Right.
each other.
Right.
And when they talk, it's like, they're on FaceTime, but
Yeah.
they're not actually talking on the
personal.
phone.
Yeah.
That
The only people they
face-to-face
talk with
contact.
are the boys.
Yup.
So that's a big difference. You don't have that bonding time.
Right.
Right.
Because the only time you're spending is over the phone.
That's big. And like you said, I remember our first trip out of the country. That's something that we shared together.
Oh.
Getting permission. And again, our parents would talk.
Yes.
Because, honey, Renee and Kimmy couldn't plan anything without the parents talking. So we would have to really get our story straight.
And they did. I mean,
couple of
were
times.
quite well.
Times we do.
Connected.
I will
They
admit.
make sure they were covered.
I will admit, I did mess up one time.
What?
We don't need to go down there.
One time I did mess up on covering my friend. I did. And I don't know if I ever apologized for that.
Well, you can do it now. Do it now.
Because she told me to cover her, and she rode her bike to our house, and that was the truth. But then I kind of dropped the ball, and when her mom was looking, I was like, no. And then I was like, oh, no, wait a minute. Her bike is here, but she's not.
I can think of many times where Renee didn't cover.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Yes. And I can think more recently. In my old house,
Uh-oh.
I was having dinner and she got a phone call from someone who was complaining about my dinner date. You remember that one? Oh, you don't remember that?
No.
The person was walking through the snow to go to my backyard.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
There
yeah.
are lots of covering.
Oh, yeah. And my friend was looking in the window and giving me a detailed report of what was going on in her house.
Yeah.
The food.
I didn't get a phone call about it until after it was over.
I was on the line.
How can you do that?
We had texting then. That was only.
It was like, oh, she fixing dinner for. He ain't even washing the dishes. I wash the dishes. Yes, we have been through it. And I think it's just that quality time. Like I said, our first trip out of the country was with each other. Parents involved. We flew to Florida and then took a cruise to the Bahamas. We were 21. Like I said, I'm 6 months older than her.
That was just 4 years ago.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. See, she got me. And we went. It was so nice. But these are memories that I would hope when I look at my nieces and I look at, Jordan is a niece too. I'm like, I want you all to have that experience and be able to come back and talk about what you and your girlfriends have done, because it was bonding. Our first road trip, I think we went to Virginia Beach.
Yeah,
really? I had my Honda Civic. Put it on the road. We went to Virginia Beach. So that's the quality time.
And you know what? What I'm really impressed with, because I don't think there was even a MapQuest or,
honey, we were some road dogs.
Being adventurous and taking that and not having
At
any
20
prior
and
experience.
21, we were hitting the road.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think those bonding occasions of weekend getaways with each other is part of what builds the bond, and it builds the trust, and it builds that longevity in the friendship.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
those are some of the pieces that are missing, and it's unfortunate because we made those experiences for ourselves with the support of our parents.
Yeah.
Right.
And although times are very different, I think it's still possible, but you have to do it together. Like, you can't do those kinds of things by yourself. You have to do it in groups. I would even say no less than 3, because just 2 of you, I think you're still a target.
Yeah.
But that's how you keep the relationship. You grow the relationship now. And that's what's missing. The time put in.
And I think also with the 2 of you, the value that you placed on fighting for your relationship, you know, through the ups and the downs. And even when people would try to cause division and separate, you all were determined, we're not going to let this happen.
Well, the thing about it too would be how Kimmy and I can get on each other's nerves.
Hallelujah.
We fuss at each other.
Say it again.
I'm telling you, we fuss, and then one of us will call back and say, "Hey, I want to check out this place." And I'll say, "Hey, yeah, I've been wanting to check that out too." Good. Well, be here at 7 on this date. I still don't like you. Goodbye. You
delivered it.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that we go through, and being truthful with each other in relationships.
Right.
Being able to let our guards down and be vulnerable.
That's good.
Okay, so we talk through tears, secrets, hurts, pains, and we try to keep secrets from each other. The back and forth in relationships.
Yes.
I'm done. I promise you. No, it is over. And this is the value. This is a survival tool when you're looking at positive female relationships.
However, everybody can't tell you the truth or be what they feel is 100% honest if they haven't put enough time in.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's true.
Very good point.
So I feel like, especially when you're talking about relationships, when you have friends that you're not at that stage with them, because there are definitely stages to a friendship.
It is.
There are some people who think they can tell you things about your relationship that just don't have that place in your life to be able to talk to you that way.
That's true.
And that causes division amongst your friends, despite what's going on in your relationship.
Right.
Absolutely. That's big.
Yeah.
Now, as we
Definitely.
know, I believe in boundaries of each relationship. So even if you don't like my dude, respect the fact that this is who I'm with and who I love at this moment. Even if I tell you, and I have to emphasize that, y'all know. And right now, just rock with me. You can tell me the truth. And every single one of my friends say, I don't like what's going on. I want you to be safe.
Right.
But I can't make that decision for you.
Right.
If y'all know this about me, if you try to come at me like I'm dumb and stupid and
No,
girl,
you
what's
don't wanna
wrong
do
with
that.
you? I will never talk to you again. Don't do it.
Or
Because-
mudsling.
Yeah,
You know?
don't bring it up. If I tell you we get back together, and Kimmy and I have gone through this, we tell
Yes,
each other
Lord.
we're done with them, it's over. And then it's like, dang, I talk mad trash. I can't tell her I'm back with them.
I mean, and to tell you, I'm like their big sister, so a lot of times I'm looking like, okay.
Yeah, you looking, or if you may ask, I'll be like, no, they ain't
Yeah, I'll be
together
asking.
anymore.
I'll ask their dick, what's going on?
Like, I ain't together.
Okay.
And then somebody will say, hey, I just ran into him. Like,
Uh-huh.
okay. Or when you have the benefit of having a best friend who's involved with someone who now calls you their best friend.
Uh-oh.
So, Kimmy, my other best friend that's attached to Kimmy will out her.
All the time.
All the
Oh, that's
time.
the little secret you keep from me.
Yeah. So, honey, I'm not gonna say exactly. I'm not gonna say his name. But one
My
time,
man.
you know him. He'll say one time, and we just talked about it this morning because we have so many stories with that one.
Good grief.
She and I
yes.
were talking, and we're on the phone having a regular conversation. As far as I know, they're not together. They don't rock anymore. Well, I'm talking to her on her cell phone, and I get an incoming call on the other line from her home phone. I click over, and it's the one who she's not dealing with saying, hey, Renee, you see where I'm calling from, don't you? And he'll crack up laughing.
That is the turn on. Y'all get all of it. Y'all get everything.
So that's the relationship. Do I like everything about it? No,
Right.
I don't. And we will listen to each other and we'll let each of us get it all out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I understand. I understand. And then we'll be like, you big dummy.
Get it out.
Yeah. So it's now like, we will say that, but it's like, okay. And
You have that understanding.
it is.
But one thing that I realized driving in the car with the two of you, and you want to go one way and
Oh,
I'm
my
telling
God.
you, you'll get there quicker, Renee. No, I don't. Do
is.
you want to drive? No.
I
Go
don't.
this way.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there like, oh my God.
She'll be like, why are you going this way? Like, and I'm like, you know what? Let's see which way is faster by you getting out and walking. And I go my way. We have it.
Yes,
I mean,
it's comical to experience the two
the
of them.
survival of our friendship is understanding each other
Yeah.
and being able to argue, the ability to let stuff go.
I think that is the key.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
a lot of people
we don't
can't.
hold anything,
Yeah.
and we tell each other when we're getting on each other's nerves. And oh my gosh, yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's refreshing, the level of trust that's there. As I stated, if we have our own circle of friends, but don't touch me and Kimmy's friendship.
Right.
You understand
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, say whatever you want, have your opinion, but you don't get to touch
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing you could tell me.
I think it's also important to recognize the modeling that you've seen and model that for others.
Yeah.
So, like, my mom's best friend, she didn't talk to her every day, but when they talked, it was always 11 o'clock at night. Like, the kids were all asleep, the phone would ring, and it would be the two of them on the phone. I don't know, because I was asleep. But
Yeah.
but you know, like, they didn't have to talk all the time, but that didn't mean anything was wrong with the friendship.
That's
Right.
right.
And it didn't mean that their relationship wasn't significant.
Right.
Right.
And so having that to see as a model was important, especially once we became adults, to know that, gosh, I haven't talked to Renee. Wow. I think it's been like a few weeks. Let me call her.
Yeah.
And it literally is like picking up where we left off. And
Yep.
then, you know, like, I literally found out on the way here something about what happened when my brother passed away. And that was in 1999.
Yeah.
How I didn't know that, no idea. But like those kinds of things, you find out years later. Does it change anything? No.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
part of life, and it's part of just, I don't know. I just feel like you have to model for those that are looking.
Yeah.
For my almost 20-year-old.
Wow.
Oh wait, I had her when I was 5.
She forgot. Do the math. That's right. Oops. That's right.
But it's important for her to see my relationships with different friends. And
That's
I have
right.
different relationships with different people.
Right.
And it's okay that your friends don't all get along.
Right. Right.
Right.
Because they don't. But they can get along for the sake of you
Yep.
for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's
Right.
it. Exactly. And that is so important because there was the college years that we were separated. And as you stated, just life. And you always touch base. And what's going on with you? I feel like I never talked to you.
Yeah.
And we always catch up. So we'll have these moments where we're always together doing something, and then life will happen. And then sometimes when we're together, and Octavia, you know, you'll see my work life and how it affects my life.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I'm a commuter.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
this is what you got to deal with. And I'm like, I am so tired. The
Right.
phone, it's just like understanding each other, and even, you know, what our family's going through now, just understanding
Right.
what we're dealing with and being able to put a smile on your face and still press forward and know what to say, who needs what right in that moment, you know.
But I'd like to add something. When it certain things, and you all, if Kimmy had a certain occasion or an activity, and it may be a girlfriend that you don't like, and you'll say, look, if she's gonna be there, don't invite me.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah,
I've heard
that
But
is
y'all have
that's
had your
girl code.
experiences with each
That's
other's
girl code.
friends, and these are the friends that you may have, she may have, and it's a total clash.
That's girl code.
Y'all
Yep.
still hooked up or y'all let it go?
We still hook up.
Yeah.
So, for instance, my birthday was at the end of June. It's a national holiday in my life.
You get that one.
And all my friends know that I expect to celebrate like it's a national holiday.
That's right.
And so I had gotten all of my girlfriends together, the ones that don't get along, the ones that get along, and had them all join me at the shooting range. And
Okay.
one of my other best friends, Maya, said, "You always trying to mix up your friends."
And Kim's friends are very colorful in personality, in skin tone, in lifestyle. Yes, yes. She is just a mixing bowl.
And they all got along. We had a great time.
That's good.
And I know that only for those types of occasions can I
They
pull all my
sacrifice.
friends in together.
Yeah.
Right, that's good.
Yeah, But girl code is, okay, we're going to come together. We're doing an activity. But in a lot of social events is where you find out, yeah, we clash.
Yeah.
Where you're just sitting down having good conversation and stuff.
Social events and trips.
Yeah, that's when you find out, like, okay, yeah, I see where how y'all can be friends, but we could never be friends, right? And so that's girl code where you understand.
Yeah, you do.
I'm going to be there. We doing an activity. Everything is fine, but then it's like if it's going to be small and intimate, I'm gonna fall back. Yeah, so I think that is definitely girl code, and I have friends who tell me that as well, and they mean it, and I respect it.
And I think that's wonderful that you can meet someone right where they are without sacrificing the friendship.
Okay. So I think that is very, very important. The loyalty that's there, the trust. And I am so sorry, Octavia, please, for those who want to call in and chat with us, can you please let them know?
Please share, and you can call in at 1-855-493-6499. We'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, let's chat about friendships. In certain things, you can take advice. And like Kimmy said, if somebody tries to offer their advice too soon, it's just like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
Understand me. Don't judge me. Why you want to do this? Why? If I share my hopes and dreams or a plan with you, push me forward. Let me know you're proud. Or, I don't understand that. How's that? And that's one thing that I can say. If I tell Kimmy something, her face will speak it before her mouth if we're in person.
That's where Kimmy and I are. A lot of can't cover up
if
the
I'm
expressions.
saying something, she's like, I don't understand. If it doesn't make sense, she'll be like, well, wait, you got to explain that more. Instead of saying, before you say, I don't understand, explain it to me. That don't make sense, So she's able to do that. However, with driving, it is...
No, there is no mutual ground
of contention.
The whole trip is...
We beef.
Yes.
We beef, okay?
And I'm like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
I don't know if we could drive to Virginia Beach.
No.
At least not if you drive.
It is, I'm telling you. But laughter, the support, the trust, the transparency, and acceptance.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I may not agree, but it's your life.
Yes.
So accepting that. And the one thing I remember I did with my friends, and it involved a relationship. I was like, I'm going to this event. We haven't been together in X amount of time, but I want to be nosy. I don't want to hear any comments about that's stupid, that's dumb. I don't want to hear any of that. I'm going in, and I need you to have my back. And she did. Yeah. She and a couple of other friends. We went in. My stomach was in knots. And it was Kimmy that was like, he just walked in. And we're sitting there listening to the music. And I'm like, Will is all into that. I was looking cute, okay? And the thing that I told all of them, I'm taking a chance here.
Not
so
knowing.
Have my back. So we may come out laughing and happy, or y'all might need to be prepared with a box of tissue.
Right.
Now, was that the event? It was you, Gabby, and I, and then one of my friends.
And
our
Dante
security was there.
came.
Yes. Okay.
So let me tell you, Kimmy, she was on it. This is girlfriend code. She's going in, and we were there. We had a good time. The place was nice, and we were listening to a live band. And his party was to start after that. And he walked in, and I didn't see him. And Kimmy was on it. I see him. I said, okay. She was like, well, what are you going to do? I was like, nothing. I just came here to look. We ain't doing nothing. She was like, oh, wait a minute. I think I'll go over.
No!
He's sitting at the bar with a friend. And everybody know Kimmy don't drink. at all. She goes over to the bar, leans forward like, I don't know, like you're looking at something or you're about to ask, and she bumps his arm.
No. The arm
Mistakenly on purpose.
Well, this is an episode.
Yes, I'm telling you, we could do our own show. And he turns around and they both say, excuse me, and then recognize each other. Like, oh, hey,
It's been a long time.
oh my goodness. He was like, how you doing? And what happened from there? Oh, her memory's so short.
Yes.
So it went from there to, I don't know if he asked about me or if she said she was there with me, but she got me through that moment because my stomach was in knots, my knees were shaking, I was sweating, and she was like, okay, now you can go over. That you know?
Yeah.
So I went over
Memorable
and
moment.
it was a really good night. But she was like, no, I think I'm going to go over. Like, we're going to check this out here. And she did that for me. And it was a positive night. That is truly a girl, I got your back.
Right.
That's
right.
big. Like, honestly, we could have done that movie Girls Trip because we have stories. We totally
it.
could have done that because we have some stories. We have moments. One of my other girlfriends, Danielle, we went to Virginia Beach, and Danielle, we went separate places, and we were like, okay, what's the tag number? It's just like we were on it. That is something that I would hope your daughters are doing when they get together. Who are you with? We got
Looking
your
out.
back.
Yeah.
If we split up, I don't know your friends. Make sure you comfortable. If you meet somebody new, all right, somebody always gonna have eyes on you.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
just
right.
always.
And even now with Uber and
Yeah.
all of these, call, look, I'm taking this.
Send me your location, everything.
That's what true friendship is about.
Right. And knowing the time frame to really intervene and give your opinion.
So I have a friend who was going out on a first date with someone a couple of weeks ago. And she really thinks I'm crazy because every time she's getting ready to go out with somebody new, I tell her, okay, I'm bad with names, so
Yes.
send me his first name, his last name. I know where he works,
Uh-huh.
but I need to know what car you're in, and if you can get a picture of the tag, like send it to
Right.
me. And she thinks I'm crazy, but it is so relevant.
It
Yeah.
really is.
With the world the way it is, it is so important that somebody
Yeah.
knows who you are with
That's
and
right.
where you are.
That's right.
It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be your mother. It doesn't have to be
Right.
your sister. It doesn't even have to be your best friend.
Right.
Right.
But somebody
Somebody.
Yeah.
needs
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially if you live alone.
Yeah.
It is so important
Yep.
to be safe.
Yep.
And I mean, like, I wasn't going to do anything with that unless needed.
Yeah.
But I remember one time she was dog sitting and she had broken her ankle or her foot while she was dog sitting. And we didn't know where she was. Like, we couldn't even get to her. And she didn't have her phone with her. So, you know, like, after that, I
Moments
think she
like that.
understood
Yeah.
like, why it was important.
Yeah.
But I think it's also important to have numbers.
Yep.
Like, not everybody's number, but you need to have your friends' parents.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Number.
Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree.
Even as adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's
I have
right.
your mother's number.
Yeah.
I will call.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
I would just add that.
I think that
Know
is.
that important information.
And then, like Kimmy was sharing, even though you all don't talk every day, but after a while, if you don't hear from Kimmy and it's like going 2-3 months, a month or more, you're like, okay, this is not what we are about. Something is going on.
And I think that that amount of time varies depending upon the friendship.
Right.
If I haven't heard from Renee in a month,
Uh-huh.
it's a problem.
Right.
Uh-huh. You know, right?
Right.
But I have other friends. I can go 2 and 3 months without hearing from
Right.
them.
And you know
you're
that's
both
the
fine.
norm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's like when you look at it, and it's about lifestyle, it's about career.
Right.
You know, I have friends who travel for their jobs. So it's like, okay, I got to do this. I'm going to touch base with you. Hey, I'm sitting still. And then they'll talk, about everything, and we'll catch up. And everyone knows at a certain point, just like Kimmy, I'm going to bring all my friends together.
Right.
And
right.
we're all, the thing about it, my friends, when they get together, they love each other. You know.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh my gosh, how are you? They asking about kids. They asking everything. And that's something that I really, really enjoy.
But now listen, this is the question. If you're having a festive event and all of your girlfriends are telling you, look, if this one comes, I am not showing up. What do you all do when you still want everybody to come together?
The majority
And all
rules.
of the ones have the same issue with the same person.
The majority rules.
Majority rules.
Yeah.
You think so?
Just out of respect. What do you think, Kimmy?
Well, it's funny because
Did you hear her voice? Well,
This takes the Jeopardy moment.
go ahead, give it to us.
so I think it depends on the event.
Okay.
If it's a really significant event, then you just have to let everybody know, I expect you all to get along because this person is going to be invited.
Right.
Facebook is a problem though.
Yes.
Because there are stalkers on your page.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
Take
then
note
they'll
of where
feel
you
left
are.
out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if it's something as significant as a wedding,
Oh,
a
for sure.
bridal shower,
Okay.
a baby shower, anniversary, that is something like, okay, well, it'll be enough people there to scatter and
Buffers are
yeah, exactly. But if it's going to be one of those intimate events, like,
Then
and the majority are there, I think that's, you don't want that person to feel uncomfortable.
Right.
right. But that person may not even know that
Oh, they have no idea.
Yeah,
most
but-
of the time they don't
But
know.
then what you're going to get is they might get iced out. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Because now you got a group of people who is like, well, I
They
gotta
all the way in the
explain it to them.
corner and they say,
Yeah. You getting the cold shoulder like this. How you fine? Like, so even though, hey, you don't realize that you brought it on yourself, but I'm not going to invite you and you be mistreated, That's something big.
I'm curious to know, is that normal though? Like, is there always one? Like, there's one for both of us.
Yeah.
Is there always one?
I
think so. I think
Look,
so.
y'all know I watch reality TV. If you
Okay, I
don't know
don't, so
nothing
it's
else about me, I love
Yes, he
reality
does.
TV. There's always one
Okay.
that you can always expect to
Everybody
do
has an
something that's
issue
going
with.
to go a little left. There's always one who can be a little loose in the mouth and cause others to be like, did she really say that? So I think it is that one in a group.
Now listen, when it comes down to the friendships that you all have beyond each other, do you all encounter the ones that only call you when they need something? Or have you ever run into an issue where you've tried to help the individual, but yet it's starting to become draining?
Oh, goodness,
and this
yes.
person, either financially, emotionally, because you do have those who can't get up out of debt because of the poor choices, or it's always a problem. They gripe, they complain, but you later find out they're bringing a lot of this on themselves. How do you handle that?
I think
And this
Kimmy's
is a
good with
friend.
that. I've had that conversation with Kimmy over the years. Kimmy has a good heart, and Kimmy's to some extent a rescuer. Yeah, she's nurturing.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. But do you have a time and a moment where you literally it becomes draining?
I think
and
Kimmy needs better
it's just-
boundaries.
Okay.
Just because when you want to see your friend take care of herself, and it's been over years, you know, just with certain ones, I'm like, okay, you're doing that again, you know. And it could be something very menial, but have a pattern
Okay.
to something extreme.
And that's where the girl code comes in.
Okay.
To have your friends, your real friends, to point that out for you.
Right.
If you're not on best friend status, don't try to point that out to me.
Right.
It's not going to be taken very well.
Right.
But I think, like, because I am that way, and so because I am that way, I need my friends to keep me on point with that. And they don't have to be. They already know they have to say it a certain way for me to hear it.
Right.
So I think that's part of that girl code.
Yeah.
I think that is important.
Yeah.
To have that conversation, you just can't have it. I would dare not. Even with our history, I'm cautious as to how I speak to Kimmy about her other relationships because I respect that.
Right.
So
And that's
if we
good.
hear certain things or share, I may comment, but I respect all of her friendships, you know, and I'm just like, I'll tell her I don't have nothing to say about that.
Right.
And she'll know.
That doesn't happen often.
Yeah. Then other times I'll be like, you know what? I might as well tell you. You know, it's just like one of those things.
What about with the guys? Remember you had an incident where the guy knew Kimmy and you may have had a class or something with him.
Oh,
and he
yeah,
came.
we talked about that. Remember
Yeah.
I was like, why he was in town. And I was like, hey, did you get a message? She was like, no.
Sounds just like Kimmy.
That's what she does. I was like, well, why am I? And that was,
You know why?
you remember we talked about this.
That was the last conversation.
Yeah, and I literally
But Kimmy
was
is
like,
literally here now.
Yes, and so that goes to show like how much of a relationship we didn't have. That was back in, I want to say, 8th grade.
Wow.
That I was in a relationship with that person.
Okay.
And it was not a real relationship.
Okay.
Now, if my daughter's father tried that, that would be some problem. We would have
Yes.
some major problems.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would venture to say, as an adult, any of the relationships that I've had as an adult, if they tried to get at any of my friends, like one, if we had a relationship, they would know better.
right.
And I really don't think there's anyone that I call a friend who wouldn't know better than to try to do anything
Right.
with anyone, even if it was
Right.
just somebody I was talking to.
Right.
That would not fly. They are completely off the table.
Right.
If I had any interest in them, period. at the
Right.
end.
Right.
That's the way I feel. Some people feel, well, if you all weren't intimate, no, I don't
Yeah, but
care.
that was
Even
one we
talking
talked
to, dating, whatever.
I don't care if
off.
you were 12 years old.
Yeah.
I don't care. Why? And I just was like, I forwarded right like, did you? No. I was like, but I don't understand. And unfortunately, it had been after I had said it, Kimmy was like, no, Renee, it was longer than that. Haven't even seen the person in like 20 some years, over 20 years.
No. We saw like 5 years ago.
Okay, it was a sad occasion.
Right. But I think the point of the matter is this: when it comes to the girl code, you don't do it. You don't do it to your friends. You don't date anyone that they've had any interest in. But how you handled it is the girl code part.
That's right.
Don't keep it from the friends.
That's right.
Tell them.
That's
Be 100% honest. And like you were sending me the messages. Like sometimes people need proof. I don't need proof. If you said it, I believe it. But that's my relationship with you.
Yeah.
Like you need to come with evidence.
Right.
It's just like if somebody saw your husband out with another female.
Oh yeah. That's
How do
a
they
problem.
bring it to you?
Yeah.
Or do they bring it to you?
Right.
If it's a true friendship, they bring it
Right.
to you, but they bring it to you with evidence.
That's
And
right.
I have to say, I was watching Sisters from a couple weeks
That's
ago.
our show.
Oh my goodness.
That's our show.
And Andy has sent her administrator to her house to get something. And she went in the house and heard some noise coming from a closed bedroom door. And she was like, on the phone with Andy, you need to get home. She was like, I don't have time. Da-da-da-da. She was like, you need to come home. But why? Come home. Like, that's the evidence. I don't need to tell you.
Sat
I
at
just
the
need to tell
kitchen
you.
counter and waited.
That's girl code right there.
That's girl code.
Not, I don't want to get involved. I don't want
Exactly.
to cause
Yeah.
any confusion. So I didn't say anything.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Because if I
I'm gonna-
find out, no, you're cut.
Yeah. If you're going to have my back, and hey, you might get mad at me.
Right.
But the only thing this is going to prove is that I have your back.
The loyalty.
I don't know what to think about this situation. I'm taking a chance with telling you, but just respect the fact that I'm bringing it to you. Like,
Because
I wanna know.
of love and
Yeah.
loyalty.
Yeah. And that's a big thing.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear nothing about. Oh, I didn't want to cause confusion.
But
in
you
your
go and tell somebody
relationship
else.
because I know you really love this person. And no, I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Because
And-
if you love me, even though it's going to hurt me, don't have me looking foolish and thinking that this relationship
Right.
is sound, it's committed, when it's not.
And that's the thing with that episode Kimmy just referenced, when Andy came home and she heard it and checked in and found out it wasn't what they thought. She was literally like, you had my back. It was like, you know what? That was suspicious. Good looking out.
See?
And it was like, girl, I got your back.
See?
And that's the thing. Look, I'm going to sit here because whatever's going on the opposite side of that door, if we need to throw hands, we're going to throw hands, you know?
Yeah.
That's just, you know, but you're going to hear it and I'm not leaving you. I didn't walk out and say, go home now. She sat there and waited.
So I'm wondering, is there anything that changes girl code wise when you get married?
Ooh,
That's a good question.
that's good.
Yes.
I do want to hear your input. What do you think needs to change about girlfriends once one girlfriend gets married? As a male.
Can you hear me?
No.
No.
Y'all can't hear me.
You're about to get
Can
married.
you hear me?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
am.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I think that it's just like with me and some of my homeboys who got married. Our relationship changed. I didn't hang out with them as much. Really hardly ever. When they got married, I knew that their first priority was to their family, as far as, you know, and the kids and all that. Before then, we might hang out all the time, but once that happened, I stepped back. I think that with women, it may be a little bit different because, you know, women, y'all just talk. Y'all relate more. More guys, I guess it's easy for us to step back. Maybe some guys maybe not, but for me, I step back. But since I'm getting married, I do know that even with her friends now, they're very respectful.
Okay.
They're very respectful. You know, and it's cool. You know, but they've been like that for years. You know, dealing with relationships and all of that. And and also, it just happened to be that everybody that she's friends with know her
Oh, okay.
through the years.
Gotcha.
But we've been knowing each other for a very long time.
Okay.
So that makes a difference too. It's when somebody new come in that they don't know.
That's, yeah.
Where there is more more stepping in or more getting involved in the situation than that. Yeah. So that's
Got
it on
you.
that, yeah.
And, you know,
That's good.
that is, I think about it and I'm like, I'm cool with anybody I'm involved with if he has my sister's numbers, of course, or y'all's. Like, as y'all know,
Yeah.
my other best friend attached to Kimmy has my numbers. And he called me.
Yes,
to
I have
sit-
experienced
Yes.
those phone calls.
Yes. And honey, I'm telling you, you can say what you want about him. That's my friend.
Yeah, and you know what I
Look,
really
my
love?
whole family loves him.
Newman!
He will call.
Love him.
And he tells on her.
Yes, he does. I was sitting up there.
He tells
hey,
on
Newman,
her.
Talk to your girl.
Yeah. He tells on her. And, as much as he and I are friends, I bring it right back to Kimmy.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I don't go back and forth. One time he snitched on her and he was very upset. I said, Kimmy, you did that? Yes, I did. I said, now, Kimmy, now that was wrong. I said, Kimmy, you went too far. Well, I knew that, but I was...
I knew
At
that.
least, but you know
She
what?
was very
She did
articulate.
acknowledge it.
Yeah. And right now, I don't think... You used to have the number. I mean, I'm on a roller coaster, but I think...
You know, I did, but Renee, when they were on the outs,
Yes.
she got my daughter to get my phone, and my daughter knows my code.
I
and
paid
Renee, yes, deleted everything out of, so I don't have the information. This is how
wow.
upset she was with.
I was
with
done.
Oh,
But
wow.
why are you gonna go through my phone?
Because they would talk and text, and I was like, no, we don't like him
And
anymore.
I told Sierra, this is my daughter. See, because I'm looking for it. I said, now I know what
some
I'm looking
cash
at my
out
phone.
there.
Like, now I know his number. Did all my search and everything. And then they said, good luck.
Yeah. What you got to say? Did you?
No, I don't have anything to say. I don't think I have the current. I don't have it.
No.
When they're on the outs, I deleted it, so I don't think I have
And
it.
look, but yeah,
least she ain't paid
but
Jordan.
she's totally fine. But Kimmy couldn't stop him from calling me anyway. I mean, he's just like, look. But he called. He extended his condolences. He let me know. I invited him. Yeah, Kimmy told me to call you. I told her I'm
That
out
was
of
a
town.
lie.
I'm on vacation, So that is girl code. Not saying that they are in a relationship. I'm not speaking to them.
I was getting ready to put
I
a
was
disclaimer.
I
out there.
know.
Disclaimer.
I was gonna say I'm not saying they're in a
are
relationship,
not.
but
I am delivered.
I am delivered. But girl code is when your significant other has their telephone number.
But you know what? And I'm trying to think. You and Kimmy. I don't know. I think it was a birthday celebration of yours. And all of y'all were together, and Kimmy's baby's daddy was there. And how you said she told you, now look, if my parents call and inquire, I stayed the night over your house. So I love to hear these stories with how they literally, it is premeditated. I mean, they cover all ground.
Yes.
And that is the friendship. And I sit up there and I said, they are quite a pair.
Girl code.
Literally.
Yeah.
But just don't get in the car with them because they have
That's when
totally
we argue.
different directions.
And you're gonna be like,
different direction.
how y'all friendship survive
I'm sitting up
arguments
there.
like that?
Look, I was sitting there just like this. Only thing I want to do is get there. That's all.
How
That's
about
all.
we get
That's
there?
all.
Right.
I don't care.
We always argue about directions, driving. Here, I know a better way. I don't want to know your way.
I love them. I love them.
But that has been girl code and what has kept our relationship going.
Yes.
That is me and Kimmy's survival box of why we've been friends all these years. You have anything you want to say in closing, Kimmy?
I do not.
Okay. Awesome.
Tavy?
I am very grateful for my sister Renee, and Kimmy is She's like my sister, my
I'm your
baby
bonus
Family.
sister.
Yeah.
Yes, and she and I, we have our own way of communicating. Spanish,
Amen.
Japanese, and Korean.
All in one.
Yes, all in one.
We're very unique, and only people look at us like what is wrong with the two of you? But we understand each other.
We totally
So
do.
I'm very
Amen.
grateful for just being able to have them in my life. I love them very much and wish the best for them. And Cabby,
Heavy.
oh my goodness, forgive me. He's not on his post. But Kimmy is really venturing out on new grounds and a milestone, and I thank God for it. I'm very proud of her and her endeavors, and they're in my prayers daily. And I want you all to know I love you very much.
We love you too.
Yes. So we are so grateful for today's episode. Please like it, share it. We are here every other Saturday. So I want to send a big shout out to my other bestie who was supposed to be joining us today, Gabrielle. So we want to send her positive vibes and good wishes.
Hang in there. We love you.
And she'll be joining us as soon as she's back up and running. So this has been Diary of a Preacher's Kid with Renee.
Octavia.
And Kimmy.
Have a good day. Bye-bye. That